Yeah, so I'm Jared. I'm a senior creative writing major, and I did the MTV Networks internship. So basically, the program you'll work with MTV Networks is basically their in-house advertising studio. So they do everything from video to print pieces to social media stuff, and you're basically treated like like a junior copywriter there. So from the, I think like from the first day, you like get put right into things. I showed up, I had a 5-minute meeting with my boss, and then she was like, okay, go write me a list of taglines for this campaign. She gave me like a little sheet describing it, and I was like doing things on day one. So you get your feet wet really fast there. Everyone you work with at MTV Networks is awesome. Like they're all like really super creative people. They're always like playing ping pong on the desk behind you, things like that. So it's a really, really awesome workplace. Definitely not like suit and tie advertising agency. So let's see, the kind of things I did, I mean, you write a lot of copy. You're always writing taglines, messaging, things like that for ads, for videos, for things across all sorts of different media. You're also doing a lot of brainstorming with the other writers and designers and video people and project managers. So, you know, somebody came to us from a government agency and they were like, okay, we need to stem IP theft. Like, what do you guys, do you guys have any ideas? And you're basically consulting for them. So we sat down and came up with a bunch of ideas for how to leverage social media to get people to like not want to steal things, or basically steal things. We wanted to equate it to that. So we came up with all these ideas, like people were talking about, posting, like why don't we have people post pictures of fake stuff on Facebook, and then they can get like little rewards of real things, or why can we set up like a Groupon type system to get people to like actually want the real thing, and then so a lot of like really creative ideas come out of it. You're always talking to really interesting people throughout. So you work in Times Square, which is really interesting. All sorts of stuff happens. So like one day I showed up at work and there was a guy on top of a light pole right outside our office trying to promote his new rap album to the MTV people. So yeah, a really interesting place. There's like a BMX guy like flipping over my head one day when I showed up. So really cool internship, really cool people you're working with. I'd say like, yeah, it's really writing centric though. Like you show up, you start writing tagline. Like everything you do there is like in some way connected to writing. So like Professor DeCurtis said, like it's a really interesting way. Like I come from journalism sort of, so I had never really considered this as a writing path before. And but like advertising really centers around this, and it's a cool way of getting your feet wet in the creative industry and seeing what it's all about. So.
Terrific, thanks, Jared. I should also add that these internships are paid. A rarity, an increasing rarity, as you know. Penn is coming up with the dough for these things, so just keep that in mind. I can't. The number shifts usually upwards, actually, from year to year. So I'm not sure if we know exactly what it's going to be for this year, but just keep that in mind. Let's go next with Jamie, who was at Brooklyn Films.
Hey, so I was working for John Avnet at Brooklyn Films. John's a very prolific writer, director, producer. And I think on the description on the website says, come prepared to do anything. And that really, you really can't expect anything going in. It's sort of, everything depends on what John is working on, what the office is working on. So when I got there, John was actually just leaving to shoot a film for Hallmark in Detroit. And I couldn't go, so I stayed in the office. And I was a little bit frustrated because he was leaving for a shoot for a couple weeks. And then I was in the office, and it was relatively quiet, but I was getting a lot of scripts to write coverage.
Why don't you explain what that is?
Yeah, I was getting sent a bunch of spec scripts, people submitting scripts to John's agent, and he was sending them to me, and I was basically writing a summary of the script and a short analysis of it and sending it back to him. So that was sort of the way that I got to know him, and Marcia, who's a producer that works with him, is through their comment, their feedback on my coverage, which was very cool to start off. And then I started working with John's son, Jake Avnet, who was producing a music video for Miles Fisher. So I got to sit in all the production meetings. I was a PA on the set. I was an extra. I got like killed in a really gory way. It was a lot of fun. And then John came back for like the last 2 weeks, and all of a sudden the office was crazy for 2 weeks. He was doing post on the movie that he had just shot. He was sending me scripts that he had written that I was writing comments on, and I was meeting with him in his office to go over, what I thought was working, what I thought wasn't working, it was of course a little bit intimidating, but it was really, really fun, really exhilarating, and it was basically a summer of just reading and writing. That's so much of what I did, and that's what I want to do. So if you want to write scripts, if you want to be I guess immersed in this world for a summer, it's an incredible experience.